Hi students, now we will read the lesson 3rd Physiography and Drainage, class 10th Maharashtra board. This is the physical map of India. In this, different heights are given by different colors and flow of rivers are also shown in the map. We will read the text given in this and find it yourself the places, different places in the map, right? Observe the map given in figure 3.1 and answer the following questions. You can use atlas also to find these places. Atlas, or you can take help of internet also if you are not able to find the places in this map, because this map is very congested, so many things are given in this. In which direction does the region with an altitude of more than 6,000 meter lie in India? These places can be found on Himalayas because Himalayas heights are very high. Some places are above 6,000 meter high also. Look for the south flowing river in the peninsular region. In which river basin does it lie? In which direction is the slope of the region in the north shown in dark green? Make a list of plateaus located in between Aravalli Ranges and Chota Nagpur Plateau. Name the peak shown in the Eastern Ghats. Which mountains demarcate the deep plains of Brahmaputra? Give the relative location of the Nilgiri Hills. In which direction does the height of the Sahyadri Hills increase? The Vindhyas act as water divide between which two river basins? Observe figure 3.2 and answer the following questions. Second figure is of Brazil. This is the map of Brazil. Figure 3.2. Similarly, questions are there to find the places in the map of Brazil. What is the range of the altitude of Amazon river basin? Between which two highlands is the Amazon river basin located? Observe the region with the altitude 500 to 1000 meters. Describe the locational extent of this region shown in yellow with reference to direction. What do the isolated regions shown in yellow indicate? Besides the Amazon river basin, where else do you find regions with an altitude of less than 200 meter? Describe the plateau region with the height of 200 to 500 meter through which tributaries of Amazon flow in your own words. Then graphical explanation. India. Figure 3.1 shows the physiography of India. The country is divided into 5 major physiographic divisions. In the north, Himalayas, the North Indian plains, the peninsula, coastal plains, and island groups. Himalayas. The Himalayas is one of the young fold mountains in the world. The Himalayas extend from Pamir Knot in Tajikistan to the east. It is sorry, a major mountain system of the Asian continent. In India, it extends from Jammu and Kashmir to Arunachal Pradesh. The Himalayas is not a single mountain range. There are many parallel ranges in the system. The southernmost is known as Shivaliks. It is also the youngest range. Next to Shivaliks are Lesser Himalayas, Greater Himalayas, which is also called Himadri, and Trans Himalayan ranges from south to north. These ranges are young to old respectively. These mountain ranges are also divided into Western Himalayas or Kashmir Himalayas, Central Himalayas or Kumayu Himalayas, and Eastern Himalayas or Assam Himalayas. North Indian Plains. This division lies between Himalaya mountains in the north and peninsula in the south. Similarly, it extends from Rajasthan and Punjab in the west to Assam in the east. It is mostly a flat, low-lying area. The North Indian plains are divided into two parts. The part lying to the east of the Aravalli is the basin of the river Ganga and is therefore known as the Ganga Plains. It slopes eastward. Most of the West Bengal state of India and Bangladesh together constitute the delta of Ganga Brahmaputra system. It is known as Sundarbans. It is considered to be the world's largest delta. See figure 3.3. This is the delta of Ganga and Brahmaputra. The image of Sundarban delta. The western part of the North Indian plains is occupied by desert. It is also known as Thar Desert or Marusthali. Most of Rajasthan is occupied by this desert. To the north of the desert lie the plains of Punjab. This region is spread to the west of Aravallis and Delhi ranges. These plains have formed as a result of the depositional work by river Satluj and its tributaries. The slope of the plains is towards the west. Because the soil is very fertile, agriculture is largely practiced in this region. The peninsula, the area lying to the south of North Indian plains and tapering towards the Indian Ocean, is called Indian Peninsula. It consists of many plateaus and hill ranges. The Aravallis in the north are the oldest fold mountains here. It includes a series of plateaus broadening the plains, Vindhyas and Satpura ranges in the central part and the hilly regions of western and eastern Ghats. Can you tell, on the basis of figure 3.1, answer the following questions. In which direction do the Aravalli lie? Aravalli ranges act as a water divide between which rivers? Name the hills located on the plateaus to the east of Aravallis. Across which states has the Deccan Plateau spread? Which hill ranges lie to the west of the Deccan Plateau? Enumerate the characteristics of the Western Ghats. Compare the eastern and the western Ghats. Why are the Western Ghats called a water divide? The coastal plains. India is blessed with a long coastline extending from approximately 7,500 km. It lies to the western and eastern part of the peninsula. Its western and eastern coastlines show remarkable dissimilarities. The western coast borders the Arabian Sea. It is by and large a rocky coast. It places spurs taking off from the Western Ghats have extended right up to the coast. Its width is also less. Rivers originating from Western Ghats are short and swift, and hence They form estuaries and not deltas. The eastern coast borders the Bay of Bengal. It has formed as a result of depositional work of rivers. Many east flowing rivers starting from the west and eastern Ghats meet this coast. Because of the gentle slope of the land, rivers flow at lower velocities and deposit the sediments brought with them at the coast. As a result, deltas are found along this coast. The island group. India has many small and large islands along the coast of the mainland. These are included in the coastal island group. Besides, India has two large group of islands, one each in the Arabian Sea and in Bay of Bengal. The islands in the Arabian Sea are known as Lakshadweep, whereas the islands in the Bay of Bengal are called the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Most of the islands in Lakshadweep are atoll islands. They are small in extent and not very high. Islands in the Andaman group are mainly volcanic islands. They are large with hills in their interior parts of includes an island called Baran Island, which has the only active volcano. In India. There are atolls in the Nicobar group too. Brazil. Even a cursory look at the map will make you realize that a large part of Brazil is occupied by highlands, plateaus, and small mountains. There are no very high and long extending mountains in the country, except for the northern Amazon basin and in southwest along the upper part of Paraguay basin. There are no wide plains in the country. Even the coastal plains are restricted in their expanse. The physiographic divisions of Brazil are as follows: the highlands, the great escarpment, the coastal region, the plains, the island groups. The highlands. The South Brazil is occupied by an extensive plateau. It is differently described as Brazilian highlands or Brazilian shield or Brazilian plateau. Brazilian and Guiana highlands together form the core of South American continent. The main part of the Guiana highlands is in Venezuela and it extends up to French Guiana. In Brazil, it covers the states of Roraima, Para, and Amapa in the north. The lower part of these highlands is found in Brazil, but the highest peak of Brazil, Pico de Neblina, is 3014-meter high and lies on the border between Brazil and Venezuela. The regions of the east and south of the Brazilian highlands have an altitude of more than 1000 meter, but in other parts the altitude is between 500 to 1000 meter. The highlands gradually slope towards north and slopes are not very steep. The tributaries of Amazon flowing through this region make rapids and waterfalls. Towards the north and slopes are steep but not abrupt. A number of rivers take off from the terminal portion of the highlands and flow northwards to meet Atlantic Ocean. Some major rivers like Uruguay, Paraguay, and Paraná originate from the southern slopes of the highlands and enter Argentina. Its slope towards the east is steep and it appears in the form of an escarpment, the Great Escarpment. Though it occupies a very small area, the nature of its slope and the effect it has on the climate makes it a separate physiographic region. The eastern side of highlands and uh, sorry, highlands is demarcated because of the escarpment. In the region, the altitude of the escarpment is 790 meter. In some regions, the height decreases gradually. The escarpment is very steep, particularly from Sao Paulo to Porto Alegre. The escarpment acts as a barrier to the southeast trade winds, giving rise to the rain shadow area in the northeast part of the highlands. The region of the north of this area is called broad quadrilateral. The coasts. Brazil has a coastline of about 7,400 kilometers. One may divide that into two parts, namely northern and eastern coast. The northern coast extends from Amapa province in the north to Rio Grande do Norte in the east. This can be called as the North Atlantic coast. From there, the eastern coast extends towards the south. The northern coast is characterized by mouths of many rivers, including the Amazon. Therefore, this region is a low-lying region. On this coast lie the Marazzo Island, Marazzo and Sao Marcos Bays. Marazzo, Marazzo is a large coastal island located between the mouths of River Amazon and River Tocantins. The eastern coast receives large number of small rivers. The only major river which meets the Atlantic Ocean here is San Francisco. The Brazilian coast is characterized by a large number of beaches and sand dune complexes. The Brazilian coast is protected in some areas by coral reefs and atoll islands. The plains. The plains in Brazil are confined to two areas, namely the Amazon basin in the north and Paraguay Parana source region in the southwest. Amazon plains lying between the two highlands form the largest plain land of Brazil. Amazon plains laying in the northern parts of Brazil generally slope eastwards. The Amazon basin is quite wide in the west, about 1,300 km, and it narrows eastward. Its width is minimum where the Guiana highlands and Brazilian highland come closer, 240 km. As the river approaches the Atlantic Ocean, the width of the plains increases. There are mostly these are mostly forested areas and largely inaccessible due to frequent flooding and dense undergrowth. Most of the Amazon plains are covered by tropical rainforests. The other plains in Brazil are located to the southwestern part of the highlands. They form the source region of Paraguay and Parana rivers. The source region of Paraguay slopes towards the south while the source region of Parana slopes towards the southwest. Pantanal is one of the largest wetlands in the world. It lies towards the southwest part of the highland areas. It is a region of swamps, and marshes in northwest Mato Grosso do Sul in Brazil, and it extends into Argentina too. Islands. Besides the mainland, some islands are also included in Brazil. They can be classified into coastal islands and marine islands. Most of the coastal islands have formed due to deposition. Marine islands were a part of the mainland. They are more than 300 kilometers away from the mainland in the Atlantic Ocean. These islands are mostly rocky and they are the top of the submerged mountains. The islands near the coast of the South Atlantic Ocean are coral islands and they are called atolls. Do you know Praia do Casino or Casino Beach is the southernmost beach of the Brazilian coast on the South Atlantic Ocean. It is considered to be the longest sandy beach in the world. It is a continuous beach extending for more than 200 kilometers. Colors of both. Figure 3.1 and 3.2 show the physiography of India and Brazil. Use the map and the indices to answer the following. Compare the indices of both the maps. In which parts do the areas with highest altitude lie in both the countries respectively? In which country is the range of altitude higher? Compare the highest range of altitudes given in both the countries. What difference do you see? In which direction is the slope of the Amazon River Basin region? In which direction is the slope of the Deccan Plateau of India? Tell the regions of rain shadow in both the countries. Consider the distribution of altitude, direction of slope of land, and other characteristics of physiography. Write 10 sentences each about physiography of India and Brazil. Drainage. Try this. Maps showing major rivers of Brazil and India are shown in figure 3.3 and 3.4. Take two tracing papers and prepare drainage basin maps of Amazon and Ganga. Name the basins. Write a comparative note on the basins of Ganga and Amazon River. You may consider following points for the comparison. Size of catchment area. Consider the map. Their relative location within respective countries. Headwater regions of rivers. Orientation of the rivers. Major tributaries and their orientation. Any other points? Some more information about Ganga River and Amazon River. Total catchment area in square kilometer 10 lakh 16,124 and for Amazon 70 lakhs 50,000 means about 7 times. Total length of river kilometers 2,225 kilometers for Ganga and 6,400 kilometers for Amazon, more than double. Water discharge cubic meter per second 16,648 cubic meter per second for Ganga and 2 lakhs 9,000 cubic meters per second for Amazon. See how the big Amazon river is. Graphical explanation. Brazil. Drainage of Brazil. As far as the drainage in Brazil is concerned, there are three major river basins. Amazon Basin, Paraguay Paraná system in the southwest, São Francisco in the eastern part of highland and other rivers at the coasts. Amazon Basin. Amazon collects its headwaters from the eastern slopes of Andes Mountains in Peru. Amazon River receives huge discharge. This is about 2 lakh meter cube per second. As a result, Amazon washes off the load supplied to it from the catchment. Consequently, sediments are not deposited even at the mouth. A dense network of distributaries, which is a characteristic feature of river mouth areas, is by and large absent in the mouth region of Amazon. Instead, we find a series of islands developed along the mouth of Amazon beyond the coastline into the Atlantic Ocean. It will be interesting to note that at the mouth of at the mouth, width of Amazon Channel is 150 km. Take into consideration a place which is 150 kilometers away from your home. You will get an idea of the width. Most of the course of the Amazon River is suitable for navigation. This is the river map of Brazil. All the rivers are shown in this. You should read all the names of the rivers by watching the map, this map. Do it yourself, please. Paraguay Parana system. These two rivers are located in the southwestern part of Brazil. Both the rivers form the catchment of River Plata in Argentina. These two rivers and River Uruguay in extreme south of the highlands collect their headwaters from the southern portion of the highlands. San Francisco. It is the third important river of Brazil. The entire basin of the river is within Brazil. It occupies the eastern portion of the highlands. The river flows towards the north for a distance of about 1000 kilometers over the plateau and then takes a sharp eastward turn to enter the coastal strip along the Atlantic Ocean. The river is navigable for a distance of about 250 kilometers in its downstream. Once let's see the map of rivers. Let's see all the rivers. Orinoco River, Branco River, Negro River, Japura River, Jurua River, Purus River. All these are in the west, in the northwest. Amazon River. So, water of all these rivers comes to the Amazon River and this flows to this North Atlantic Ocean. Madeira River, Juruaca River, Marazo Islands, these are the islands, group of islands. Zingu River, Aragua River, Tocantins River, all these come together here and goes to North Atlantic Ocean. Then Itapecuru River, Parmaiba River, Sao Francisco River, Puraguaco River, Jacuitin Honaha River, Paraguay River in southwest and Parana River, southwest, Uruguay River, southwest. So these are the rivers. Then coastal rivers. Brazil has a number of short coastal rivers. The coastal area being dense populated, these rivers attain significance. River Paraniba and River Ita, Itapekuru flowing northwards meet the North Atlantic Ocean. The rivers that enter South Atlantic Ocean collect their headwaters along the escarpment. River Paraguaco enters the Atlantic Ocean near Salvador town. India. Drainage of India. Rivers in India are largely classified according to their source region into Himalayan and peninsular rivers. Himalayan drainage. Most of the major rivers in the Himalayas originate from various glaciers. In summers, when glaciers melt, the discharge of water increases in summer. They flood during monsoons too. They are perennial rivers. The drainage covers two major river systems such as Indus River system and Ganga River system. Indus and its tributaries Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi and Satluj drain the western Himalayas, that is, they flow through Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. They flow almost parallel to each other. Let's see the map of rivers of India. See, so many rivers are there. Starting from here, make friends with maps. In the west, northwest side, these rivers are there, and this flows to Pakistan. River Indus is in Pakistan now, and these are the rivers which goes to Indus River. Indus River is starting from here, R Indus here, from China. It is coming to Jammu and Kashmir and going to Pakistan. Other rivers are Shyok, River Shyok, River Chenab, River Ravi, River Byas, River Satluj. Okay, then Gabhar, Ghagar, River Ghagar. So these northern rivers flowing towards Pakistan and going into the Indus River, which ultimately goes to the Arabian Sea. In Rajasthan, this is Luni River. Then this is Yamuna River. Yamuna River also coming from this area, which is Yamunotri. Then Gangotri is also there from where river Ganga starts flowing. This is Yamuna, this is Ganga. Both are flowing parallel and come together here at the place of Allahabad. This is Chambal River, Sindh River, Betwa River, Ken River, Son River, Gomti River. This passes through Lucknow also. Then Sharda River, Ghagra River, Rapti River, Gandak River, Kosi River, Taista River, Manas River. This is Brahmaputra River. See, this is going to Bay of Bengal from here. Hooghly River, Surma River. Brahmaputra name is Dihang in Arunachal Pradesh. Another river coming to it is Subansiri. Subansiri River. Sangpo River. Brahmaputra name is Sangpo in China. This is coming from Lake Mansarovar. Another lake is Lake Rakas. Then in Gujarat, Sabarmati River. Mahi River are there, Chambal River, Sindh River, Betwa River, Ken River, Son River, Amarkantak River. No, sorry, this is the place, not the river. Amarkantak. Okay. Multai. Warda River, Godavari River, Manjara River, Bhima River. Bhima River also passes through Pune. It is coming from near Mahabaleshwar. Krishna River. Krishna River is coming from Mahabaleshwar. Bhima is not exactly from Mahabaleshwar. It may be coming from Bhima Shankar. This is Manjra River, Sabri River, Indravati River, Pranhita River, Wainganga River, Brahmi River, Mahanandi River, Subra, Subar, Narekha River, Damodar River, this is Hubli River, Sabin River, Bhima Krishna, already we seen. Krishna is coming from here. This is also Krishna. Means Krishna is coming from Mahabaleshwar, then flowing here, then here also, then ultimately goes to Bay of Bengal. This is Tungbhadra River, Pennar River, this is Kaveri River, this is Periyar River. Okay, so all these are the river. And this circle shows the source of the river, like this. Mahabaleshwar, Bhima Shankar, Trimbakeshwar. From there we can see the river is starting and flowing towards this direction. Here you can see most of the rivers are flowing from in the southern region. Most of the rivers flowing from west to east. West to east. Very few small rivers are starting from west and going to Arabian Sea. Otherwise, most of the rivers are going towards the Bay of Bengal due to the inclination towards this direction. Find out. Many geologists say that the rivers of the Himalayas are older than the Himalayas themselves. Try to find out the reason behind this. Now, a major tributary of river Indus, the Satluj, originates near Mansarovar and flows westwards. Punjab plains have been formed. The depositional work of this river and its tributaries. Indus flows through Pakistan and then meets the Arabian Sea. The river Ganga originates from the Gangotri Glacier and crosses the Himalayas to become an east flowing river. Many tributaries of the Ganga also flow in a similar manner. Yamuna originating at Yamunotri is a major tributary of Ganga. Another major tributary of the Ganga flows through the northern part of the Great Himalayas, crosses the Himalayas to enter India. When it flows through the Himalayas, it is called Sangpo. When it crosses the Himalayas, it is called Dihang, and its eastward flow thereafter is called as Brahmaputra. From time to time, Ganga meets its tributaries, hence its discharge increases. Ganga receives Brahmaputra as its tributary in its lower reaches in Bangladesh. The huge volume of water and huge deposition has led to the formation of a large delta. Besides these Himalayan rivers, a number of tributaries from peninsula like Chambal, Ken, Betava, Son, Damodar, etc. drain into the Ganga basin. Peninsular rivers. The peninsular river systems can further be divided into east flowing, meeting the Bay of Bengal, and west flowing, meeting the Arabian Sea. The Western Ghats form a major water divide in the peninsula. The peninsular rivers, being rain fed rivers, seldom face the problem of floods. They are seasonal in nature. The west flowing rivers occupying the area between the Western Ghats and the Arabian coastline are short in length but swift. This condition of short and swift river system exists in the states of Kerala, Karnataka, Maharashtra, and southern Gujarat. Do you know the coastal rivers in Kerala have long extending backwaters near their mouths? These water bodies are locally known as koyals. Kayals. Further northward, one comes across the river system flowing into the Gulf of Kambat. These river systems are Tapi, Narmada, Mahi, and Sabarmati. Tapi and Narmada flow slowly through rift valleys. Mahi River flows from northeast to southwest direction, whereas River Sabarmati, collecting its headwaters from the southern slopes of Aravalli Ranges, flows in somewhat north-south direction. Another noteworthy river forming the catchment of Arabian Sea in River Luni. It originates along the western slopes of Aravalli Range and flows in somewhat northeast to southwest direction and flows into Gulf of Kutch. Rivers meeting the Bay of Bengal. Most of the area of the peninsula is drained by the rivers flowing towards Bay of Bengal. The important river systems of this group are Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri. Mahanadi basin occupies the northern part of the peninsula. Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri originate in the eastern slopes of Western Ghats. River Godavari is the second largest river system of India in terms of the catchment area. To the south of Godavari is located the basin of River Krishna. Its major tributes are Bhima and Tungbhadra. River Kaveri flows through the states of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. It is one of the major rivers of peninsula. It is a river that has been harnessed for irrigation since long time. Do you know the Chola king constructed a dam on the river Kaveri in the 2nd century AD near Tiruchirappalli and started irrigation in this deltaic region. Till today, the dam and its canals are operational. Think about it. Look at the map on page number 18 in class 9 geography textbook. Compare it with the physical map of Brazil. Think about the potential areas where earthquakes may occur. So this is all about the chapter. Exercise we will do in a separate session. Thank you.